talking a lot about it today. Is that all right? You know, I appreciate you coming today as we have our Friday afternoon conference about an event that started on December 20th. On December 20th, we executed a search warrant at A1 Quality Services, also known as A1 Septic Tank, in Auburndale, Florida. This was after we developed information from a burglary investigation that there was a chop shop going on. As a result, we ended up with Operation Chopped Shop. If you remember that afternoon, I told you, I said, hey, we've got a lot of stolen property here. We've got a lot of stolen firearms. We've even got firearms that we don't know whether or not they're stolen. We have a vehicle that's been chopped. We see what we think is DEP violations. As a result of a lot of investigation, we have brought charges and arrested 7 and filed charges against 3 others that were already in jail today for racketeering. Racketeering is a first-degree felony where you can get up to 30 years. And this racketeering act simply deals with organized, ongoing criminal enterprises with predicate criminal activities. So if you see, the president of the operation is Alita Burgett. She facilitated, she was the president, the owner. She actively worked at this facility every day. She did not deal in the stolen property, but let me go through the hierarchy so you'll see. Her son, Brent, was the vice president of the operation, and the manager, as it's referred to, was Danny Cleveland. Charlie Pickering here would buy and sell drugs. Now, if the burglars, or the labor as they refer to them, if they came and wanted to swap stolen property for drugs, they would go to Danny Cleveland. Danny Cleveland would pay cash, and then Charlie would sell them the drugs. Or Danny would give them drugs for stolen property. If someone wanted to buy drugs, then Charlie Pickering would deal directly to them. So you've got your burglars. These guys always committed burglaries with Johnson, but the burglars, they would work either with Charlie Pickering. Cleveland ran the day-to-day operations. Then you have Brent, who dealt obviously with Cleveland, and he also had an employee that worked at the facility. He also drew a legal paycheck as well as an illegal paycheck, and Mama was in charge of and operated the entire organization. She would only admit, well, I told my son he shouldn't have some of those people around. Well, he shouldn't have had a lot of them around, as a matter of fact. Our detectives told us that when they arrived that it was one of the largest operations that they'd seen. We expressed that to you at the time. One other thing that I find of significant interest is of the top 10 folks, 50% of them, 5 of the 10 are receiving federal assistance. So let's get this picture one more time. We've got people that are receiving federal assistance from your tax dollars and my tax dollars to go out subsequently and break into either your house or your business. So we work to pay taxes, and our taxes go to give 50% of this organization federal assistance, and they in turn are breaking in and stealing our stuff. Once again, you know how I feel about that. It drives me out of my mind, and we're going to lock them up. So the kind of government assistance we want them to get is in the form of a jail cell in the state prison. Interestingly enough, Danny Cleveland, we celebrated with him today. Today was Danny Cleveland's first day on probation, and we celebrated with him by arresting him for racketeering, a new 30-year felony charge. He told the detectives, what am I going to do? I'm supposed to be at the probation office at 9 o'clock. We told him, don't worry, we'll take care of that with the probation officer. when we file additional violation of probation charges against you. So we're coming after these folks with a vengeance. And there's a reason for that. We know there's other burglars out here that have dealt with them. We know this is an ongoing investigation because of that. We also know that these are the people that are responsible for taking a lot of money. We reviewed their bank accounts. We found they have had up to $100,000 in their bank account. We find that sometimes they have $20,000 in their bank account. And we believe that the largest percentage of that is more than likely from dealing in stolen property. We work closely with the state attorney's office, and I can't speak enough well about them. Had it not been for the state attorney agreeing with us and working with us, we could not have filed racketeering charges. But let the message be very clear from the sheriff's office and the state attorney's office. If you break into someone's house, their business, if you steal their semi-trucks, as some of these thieves did down on the bottom, we're going to do our very best not only to put you in jail for the predicate charge, but we're going to look forward at racketeering. We are going to break up these organized criminal rings dealing in stolen property in this county. That's important. Let me go forward in case I've missed some notes here. There are a total of 89 charges that have been filed so far in this operation. And our detectives told us from the very beginning, when they first arrived at the septic tank company 89 charges ago, they knew something was stinking at that place. It turned out a lot more than we thought. So yeah, something stunk at A1 septic tank, and we're cleaning it up. We know that the operation has been underway since at least 2008. We know that about 2 years ago they moved from a smaller facility to a larger facility. I guess illegal business may have been good. We also know that we are not sure the operation could have gone further back than 2008, but at this time we have good, solid predicate crimes for our racketeering, and we look forward through our investigation to move forward. We also charge folks, it was not only dealing in stolen property, it was not only grand theft of semi-trucks, it was not only dope charges, it was not only possession of sawed-off rifles, but we had things such as, there were charges such as running an unpermitted landfill and commercial dumping, where they were dumping illegally on the site here. Now, I would hate to be the landlord that owned that and has to go through the aggravation to clean up, because you can imagine that these thieves won't have much money after they finish paying for attorneys. We still have this investigation underway. We call ATF in to assist us. We have many of the firearms still under investigation. For those who think they may have lost a firearm, you don't need to call our detectives and say, was that my firearm? We're doing traces on all the firearms, and if one of these guns belongs to you and they're stolen, we'll get it back to you. We also know there are firearms and other vehicles there with vehicle identification numbers removed or serial numbers removed from the firearms. We're working to recover that information as well. We also arrested people for possession of bulletproof vest in the commission of a felony. So, as the investigation goes forward, understand that we may be talking to you again. These are new charges. They're additional charges because now we're bringing racketeering charges against them for running an ongoing criminal enterprise. And hey, after all, you know it's going to be a successful organization when the nickname of the detective working this operation is Cornbread. He's an experienced detective. He's taken a lot of entertainment in putting bad guys in jail. In fact, one of them says, hey, Brent says, I don't mind going to prison. as long as this Danny Cleveland goes to prison with me, because he was right there doing this doing this criminal enterprise with me. Well, Brent, we're going to do our best to not only get Danny in prison with you, but we're going to give you a whole lot of company.